What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. I am your host, Rudy Rodriguez Show. Mind, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. Man, we're here to talk about Miami Hurricanes. As always, because that's what we do here at Hurricanes Unfiltered. Folks, we're going live tonight, 9 p.m., so make sure you are here live. If we have a lot of people, I'd love to open up the phone lines and have people jump on board and say what they think. But, man, coming off of this big 10-3 win over Texas A&M Saturday at College Station. One hell of a performance from the defense. But I don't want to just focus on the defense. Also, the offensive line, paving huge holes. But what I want to focus on this video is Mark Fletcher Jr. Mark Fletcher Jr., my God, that young man, he carried this team on Saturday offensively. And it started off early where he was getting some chunk yards early on. But for some reason, offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson made some decisions that I thought were a little bit against the grain of what you were trying to do. What Mark Fletcher did yesterday on that football field was nothing short of spectacular. And it was interesting because in the first quarter, as he was getting some chunk yardage, it seemed like every time he got some type of big play or big yardage run, Shannon Dawson decided to move into a trick play. And that was something that I didn't understand for most of that game. I mean, I know later on Shannon Dawson claims that a lot of those trick plays were designed to create the stuff that Fletcher was able to do in the second half. Don't know how much I buy that because, I mean, you can just look at the fact that he gets the 7-yard run and then they run right into a trick play. And you saw that a bunch. 10-yard run, and then we're running into a trick play. I mean, we did that. This is literally the first quarter. 3-yard pass, 7-yard run by Fletcher, gash him for 7. I mean, look, 7 yards is a good chunk of yardage to get in a carry. And then the next play, we got Malachi Tony in the Wildcat. And you have now messed with your quarterback's ability to get in a rhythm. You're messing with the ability to get a running game going. You're creating a situation in which now you have, you're playing from almost behind the sticks, but also at the same time playing in a situation in which, you're not keeping the ball. And Miami's game plan is ball control. And Miami got out time of possessed by about 7.5 minutes or 7.5 minutes or so. And then the second possession, first play from scrimmage, Mark Fletcher goes for 10 yards. And then Miami goes into a freaking trick play and he gives a handoff to Elijah Lofton. And then the next play was a trick play with Malachi Tony, throwing the ball to Elijah Lofton, even though it was a QB throwback. And I mean, Carson Beck was wide open. So now that drive is dead. So it's like, it seemed to be situation after situation after situation in which, again, here we go. First play, Miami gets the ball at their own 13-yard line. Mark Fletcher, 17-yard gain. And then we have a negative 1-yard pass because they want to run some little silly, swing pass screen to Malachi Tony, which, look, them swing pass screens to Malachi Tony have not worked in 8 weeks. We've adjusted how we got Malachi Tony the ball, and the swing pass screen, wide receiver screen, has not worked in weeks. So it's like the same thing. It's happened over and over and over again. And then, about the only time where Mark Fletcher got stuffed was when they went for, they try to stretch him wide. That was about the only time there was struggle with with Mark Fletcher running the football. Well, Mark Fletcher's ability to run that ball between the tackles yesterday, that offensive line's ability to pave holes. But you know what makes Mark Fletcher, who I have been critical of, and I stand on what I say, I think that Miami needs to utilize more of a combo when it comes to Fletcher and Gerard Pringle, a thunder and lightning type of situation. And I know you don't want to create tendencies and stuff like that. So when Fletcher's in the game, you're running in between the tackles. And when Gerard Pringle's in the game, you have the possibility of a stretch. Although I still think you should be willing to run between the tackles with Gerard Pringle. But certainly with Fletcher, you want him running in between the tackles. These teams at this point are so high level and so fast that he's not a guy that's going to stretch it wide very, very well. You look at every run. Every run was boom, 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 boom. It wasn't, it was right down the middle. A, B gaps, man. It wasn't any stretches that went for anything special. So that's what I was saying when I was talking about that stuff yesterday in my live, because I was shocked at how little Gerard Pringle got used. I mean, he got one carry. I think he maybe been in the game for like 4 plays the whole game, maybe 5. I don't think he had more than, he damn sure didn't have 10 snaps. But that also had to do with the fact that we only had we only ran like 50, 60 plays the whole game, because of the way we ran the offense. 21 passes, 49 plays on offense. That's outrageous. That's not enough. That's not enough. Had the ball for 26-16. They had it for 33-44. They ran 35. They ran 75 plays. We ran 49 plays. 49 plays. And I put that on Shannon Dawson. Him tinkering with the offense so much. The final drive of the game is how the game should have freaking looked. That's what it was looking like early on, and all Shannon Dawson kept doing was messing with it. Seriously, he just kept messing with it. But Mark Fletcher's maturity, I think, is something that's very special and really stands out to me. Mark Fletcher is a consummate team guy. So whether he's on the field or not, the guy always has this big, bright smile on his face. He's always someone that you see looks to be happy. This kid's gone through so much with the passing of his father during the season last year, and all you want for him is success. Like, there are guys, and I'll be completely transparent, and you may hate me for what I'm going to say right here, but when Florida State went 13-0 and got screwed out of the playoffs, I mean, they got screwed. They got completely screwed. Like, they got the screwing that really changed the course of the playoffs in the future, because to knock out a 13-0 conference champion and drop them from 3-5 is nothing short of outrageous. Like, it's beyond comprehensible. And how it went down, where Jordan Travis gets hurt, a couple games with 2 games left in the season. And they get to work and they win their next 2 because of a dominant defense. They beat a Louisville team in the conference championship, a 10-2 team, a good team, and just physically dominate them defensively, kind of like the Hurricanes are. There is some striking resemblance to the Miami Hurricanes and that Florida State team, in that both teams had dominant defenses. Miami has a dominant defense. FSU had a dominant defense. Some struggles on offense for the Hurricanes at times, although we do have weapons. FSU had some elite wide receiver weapons at the time with Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson. But the guy that really kept it all together was Jordan Travis. And the one thing about Jordan Travis, I actually liked Jordan Travis. I liked his story. I liked just the perseverance, the adversity that guy went through, and to get to that point. He was a guy that battled. He wasn't a natural quarterback, and he basically became a really damn good quarterback. And then unfortunately, he had to go through that injury, and then the committee uses that against him. But what I'm trying to compare is the maturity of a Jordan Travis and the likability of a Jordan Travis. You may have hated him. That one guy on FSU, I did not hate him. I liked that guy. I liked his story. It was a nice story to hear of a guy that battled and battled and battled. And that's Mark Fletcher to me. Mark Fletcher is a guy who has battled, who has gone through it all. I mean, this is a 21-year-old guy who's lost his father during the middle of his, sophomore football season. He's dealt with some injuries at times. He was a top shelf, high school running back. And you wonder if he has a pro career. I do wonder. I don't know that he has an NFL career, because I just don't know if he's fast enough. And the way he runs, it can work for college, because, it can. He's a big dude. But with a situation where you don't have a real fullback in the NFL, I think Mark Fletcher kind of resembles a fullback in a sense. And so this is really big for him, and I'm happy for his success. But then you see what he does with other players, and you see what he does to help his teammates. When he's on the sideline, he's cheering them on. He's helping them. Malachi Tony fumbles that ball with 7 minutes to go. That dude was inconsolable. I mean, the tears coming from his eyes. And you're like, we still got a game to play, bro. And Mark Fletcher is the guy that goes up to him, his former high school teammate, knows him, goes right up to him. And he says what he says about it, how he had to, you know, remind him, man, we're not here without you. We're not here without you, man. We need you. We need you to get your mind back. You're okay. It's all good. We're gonna be fine. And just reassuring him. And that's a leader. Like if you look at one guy on this football team who is an absolute leader, the consummate leader, Mark Fletcher is the captain of this team. Like he is, I don't know if he is on paper or not, but Mark Fletcher is the leader of this football team. And everything he does is about leading and leading by example. And I love that about this dude. And the fact that he got to carry this team to the victory on that final drive and just chug it down the field 56 yards. Boom, boom. 5 plays, just ramming that shit down Texas A&M's throat. That was a thing of beauty. And then not too proud or too or not selfish that look, I took us all the way down there. I want the ball. Nah, man. Malachi Tony gets that ball in the end around and punches it in on a 3rd and 5. And here we got a Hurricane victory. And Mark Fletcher has his stamp all over this game, man. I'm very proud of this dude. I think he's the type of guy that every team needs. And I'm telling you right now, while I still believe that we could use a little bit of thunder and lightning with him and Pringle, play them. Heck, I played them together, like straight up. I play them together. Seriously. By the way, on that play with Malachi Tony, guess who's who's the lead blocker? You had Elijah Lofton with a great block, and then Mark Fletcher leading him around the way. I mean, this is the type of dude you want, man. This is a glue guy, a leader, a guy that gets it done, understands the assignment, and is there for one reason only, and that's to get that W, man. So, man, I want to say salute to Mark Fletcher. I appreciate you as a Hurricanes fan. And I mean, what you've done for this program and what you've done for these younger guys, I think is so commendable. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I mean, this wasn't a video about trying to, generate, because I like to generate controversy. That's just how I am. But this is more of like one of those heartfelt hallmark moments because there's not a guy on this team that's more deserving of what happened on Saturday than Mark Fletcher. And I look forward to seeing him do this same thing against Ohio State. What I would tell you is I think Mark Fletcher probably should have had 25 carries, not 17. If they hadn't messed around with the offense so damn much, he probably would have gone 25 for 250 on that defense. I mean, he ran their asses over. But, man, salute to Mark Fletcher, the offensive line, all that. But, man, Mark Fletcher's the type of guy you want on your team, man. And I appreciate him. And y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell. And once again, tonight, be on live, 9 p.m., Hurricanes Unfiltered Live. I can't wait to see y'all there. We got 9 days till game day, man. It'll be here before you know it. Let's go, man. Hurricanes Unfiltered. It's Hurricanes Unfiltered, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.